Welcome to Women Talk. I'm Joyce. Everybody talks, but it's been said that women talk about everything, anything, anytime, anywhere, and with anyone. It's 2024, y'all, a new year. Right after Christmas, I went into my local supermarket and I met a member of a local committee which I belong to. Of course, the phrase happy holiday popped out of my mouth and popped out of hers too. And then it was followed by, how was your holiday? This led to a discussion with both of us sharing our holiday events. We talked about food we ate, who or whom was present with us, the gifts we received, the ones we appreciated, and the ones we could do without. I even learned that the dogs in her family received gifts, and everyone had to watch them open their gifts. Now, we could have had this conversation at our upcoming meeting, but somehow we both felt it necessary to discuss our holiday as the store associates and the customers kept walking in between us. As we shared our stories, they continued to come back and forth. And as I said, women talk and we can talk anywhere. So welcome, ladies, to Women Talk. Today's guests are Liz and Judy. Before we get to today's topic, let's meet our guests. Judy, tell us a little about yourself, a little bit about you.
I've lived in Piscataway about 2.5 years, and the reason I came here is my 3 kids ganged up on me once I was 80 years old and said I had to live near one of my kids, and my choice was Brooklyn, Sacramento, California, or Piscataway. And it isn't so much that Piscataway is the navel of the earth, except that it's the closest I can get to South Jersey, where I lived for 50 years and go down every few months to visit old friends. I'm happy in Piscataway to live very close to my son and daughter-in-law and some friends who had moved up here. I'm much closer to them and to my sister, and I love being at the senior center and meeting a lot of folks. It's really nice.
Okay. Liz.
Well, I'm Liz. I think I used to live in Maryland, got married, moved to New Jersey. I've been in New Jersey for 29 years.
Wow.
I don't know what to say about myself, but I'm a widow recently, 4 years ago. I have 3 children, and I'm blessed with 2 grandchildren. I'm of African descent. I originally come from Nigeria. At the age of 16, did all my schooling here. Started from Kansas, went to the same school my parents went. Then did my graduate studies in Ohio, and started working for the state of Maryland. And from Maryland, I got connected to my husband. We were married for 28 years. And right now, I'm an independent contractor. I work for a financial service company. And one of my passions are women and what happens to women. I'm 60 years old. I'm about to be 61 years old in February, and I'm very, very proud of it. So thank you for inviting me, and I hope I have something to contribute.
I thought you looked too young to be in the senior center.
Okay. But I would never have believed your age. Okay, interesting, right? So, okay. Today's topic is New Year, New You. You know, this word new has different meanings for many people. New means it never existed before, like 2024, or it never existed for you. It could be internal, such as a change in your mental or moral characteristics, or external, simple as changing your hair, your looks, your fashion, losing weight, gaining weight. And then there's the New Year's resolution. things you are determined to do. So ladies, did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Don't look at me. I never make New Year's resolutions.
Is that because you're not going to keep them?
It's usually because I'm so tired from the whole holiday, experience that I'm just kind of slipping slowly into January.
Liz?
Well, I'm going to go exactly like I've never been one to make New Year's resolutions. Maybe when I was younger, but now I look at I call it a time of reflection.
Okay.
Instead of a resolution, I call it a time of reflection. What goals and dreams didn't I accomplish? Who do I want to become? And I look at it as, I wanted to achieve this, so it continues. It never stops. So it's a continuation of who I am because I'm still in existence. So when I say new, and when new is new, I'm not really new, right? So I'm just advancing or taking it to the next level, what I wanted to accomplish that I didn't accomplish.
Well, we're on the
That
same
was
wavelength.
okay. Well said.
Yeah.
But I don't make resolutions either. Never made resolutions because I can't keep them. So I may think about them, but I never make resolutions. However, I do make goals. Okay, and so some people might say it's the same thing. I don't know. But I like to sit down and write out goals. And it doesn't have to be in January. It could be March where I decide I'm going to write out my goals for the remainder of the year. Because I just can't think of myself doing nothing. And I get to a point sometimes. You ever had that when you're at home and you're trying to figure out, I don't know, maybe you don't have enough free time. What do I do now? What am I going to do tomorrow? I get that way all the time. So I have to write out my goals and things that I want to do because I keep carrying over a whole lot of stuff. So I have a notebook that I keep on things, a list like things to do. And then the next day I just keep adding it back to the next list because those lists never finish, at least for me. I don't mean shopping. That's an easy list. But I mean things that I want to do or things that I'm looking to try differently. Like we do Taekwondo. I do Taekwondo with Judy.
Right.
A modified Taekwondo. And we should be practicing that every day. But that's never on my list.
I don't practice every day. I just come in here and hope I can keep up with everybody.
See? That's what I'm saying. So what's a list? For me, a list is good because I can glance at it. But that's about all I get to do is glance. And then on the days that I feel like I have nothing to do, I then decide I'm going to look at that list or I'm going to see if I met that goal or what changed for me. Okay. So what changes for you?
Well, I agree with you. Goal setting is very important because without a goal or journaling what you've accomplished, I say to my children, I would like to leave $1 million for them, but if you want to know where I became a multimillionaire, is in my journaling, because it's a reflection of what I've learned, what I feel, and what I want to accomplish. But I do agree that goal setting is a very good thing to have, especially if you're reflecting and then you're going to say, well, I could check this off, or I could refine this, or what could I do, I'm from a community of people of African descent. That doesn't make us different, but I think when you come to this country, there's a lot of ideas people give you. Areas most of them are in the health industry, and some of them are like engineers, or some of them are even, CNAs, and they are engineers because they believe my grades or whatever I have, they can't transfer that. So those type of information is a necessity for people, so that, let's say somebody like me, that my parents were here in the 50s, and I went to school in Kansas, and it gave me a little bit of an edge than people that came with their children, and it makes it harder because they don't want to make money. Maybe they left their country because of things that happen, et cetera, et cetera. So it makes it a little bit hard to understand the society that you're part of. So that information is actually quite important. So part of my goals is to pass information so that people could make decision, especially some of us that are not, from born in America, but we got married in America, have children in America, and we're Americans. And so there's a lot of things that we still need to know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That was really interesting because I grew up in New York City, always surrounded by people who were immigrants. And many of the people who were my contemporaries were first generation, so they had immigrant parents. And, although my parents were born here and my grandparents came from Europe when they were teenagers in the 19th century, I still was so impressed with the very different feeling about America that immigrants have. To a certain extent, it seemed to me over the years that immigrants are always adjusting and readjusting and then adjusting again. It seemed like it was always some kind of conscious work almost, whereas, I just take America for granted, with its bad side and its good side. But that was really interesting. As for goals, if we're still on goals, I don't think I ever had any. I just seemed to step into my adult life and had one baby when I was 21 and another one when I was 22, and they were cloth diapers at the time. And before I knew it, 40 years went by, and I had a third child and got married and got divorced. I don't remember having goals. I just remember, well, I must have had goals because when my kids were in school, I managed to get to Rutgers, finished for a degree, and taught for 20 years. So, yeah, I had goals, but it seemed like I never sat down and said, eventually I'll do this. Something came in my head, and it just seemed to, years went by, and I never thought to write down goals. I learned something new here today. Never too late.
You know why I started with goals? Because I worked as a change agent.
Oh.
And in order to do that, you needed to have some goals. And you needed to have your clients get goals. So it made me aware of my lifestyle, okay? Things that I needed to change or things that I could do differently, down to even, I remember once taking a course on listening. And I never thought how important listening was. And that was one of my goals, and I had pushed it to the side for a long time and then decided, you know what, just do it. Very interesting on the things that we actually listen to and the things that we just kind of...
Well, part of the industry I'm in, listening is really important. I'm listening here, I'm observing. I'm not just here. Once I walk into a place, once I shake hands, there's a transfer of energy. I'm very aware of that. And in the industry that I'm in, helping people in their financing information, when you help somebody with their financial needs analysis, we call it, or what they want to achieve financially in terms of their goals and dreams, it helped me a lot to say, I'm bringing this to somebody, where am I? So it helped me to actually be who I say I am and also practice what I'm advocating for somebody. Because a lot of people, they advocate a lot of things and they're not doing it. So if I'm advocating for something, then I need to find out that I myself is also doing it. So that's why information, goal setting is really important, because you set goals, then you're able to transfer it to your children. They learn how to set goals and stuff like that. So it becomes, reflective for you in terms of your goals. Have you achieved it? But I try, one of the hardest things is sometimes when you don't achieve that goal, some people take it differently. It's not that you didn't achieve it. It's just that you need to fine tune it here and there. And what did you learn? You don't fail, you learn, and those,
Judy, as I think about it, the students today, I remember going into Piscataway High School, they're taught goal setting, and it surprised me.
Wow.
It really surprised me when I actually saw them having to put together their goals and to look at what they were going to do. And I'm going, this is high school. I wasn't doing that in my time. Okay.
Not in mine.
So I guess it's a new way of helping young people focus on, I guess, his future.
It seems like a reasonable thing. I don't remember thinking consciously about goals, but since I'm only here 2 years, when I did get here, I did have the unconscious, maybe, goal of I'm going to find things to do that'll be interesting, productive, you know, keep in touch more with this one and that one, find a new church. And yeah, I guess I had goals kind of in the back of my mind that I've been working on. And yeah, that's interesting to bring it to the fore. I never consciously wrote them down or even voiced them. But I guess I have been making goals all along, especially getting used to a new place after living 54 years in a different place. Yeah, yeah, adjustment definitely means that you've got to set some goals even if you don't think about them. Okay, good.
You know, you're right. Adjustment means you have to set goals. Because my daughter now lives in Seattle, okay? She's lived all her life. No, I can't say she lived she lived most of her life right here in the U.S. And then she decided when she was, I think after she did a year of college, she was going to go traveling. And so she's lived in Ireland. She's lived in the, I can't think of the name, one of the islands. She's been just about all over the world to look at the way people lived. And that's how she decided this is what she wanted to do, okay? At the time, I wasn't happy. But, you know, when young people get to be 18, sometimes this push, this tug and pull, and to try to help them stay on one track, but then I realized it wasn't her track, it was mine.
Well,
you know.
that's a mother.
Yeah, and so she decided she wanted to travel. And so she did, and came back with a wealth of knowledge, okay, and continued to do so many things. And I look at when they moved to Seattle, the difference when I hear you talk about Kansas and you talk about South Jersey. If you're always in one place, you do take everything for granted. Okay, I know where the supermarket is, something as simple as that, okay? Or I know where I go to my house of worship, something as simple as that. I know all the ones around me, okay? I know my neighbors. I begin to know their likes and dislikes, okay? So I know my community, okay? But in reality, I think about, wow, if I had to move after how many years?
Yeah, I lived 54 years in South Jersey. Yeah, I moved in with 2 little girls, 5 and 6, and a husband. And by the time I left, they were both grandmothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a huge move, because it's about learning the neighborhood.
Oh, my word. As soon as I got here, I was so confused. There's so many water names, like Greenbrook and something, Bridgewater and Boundbrook and
oh, I never even thought about that.
And yeah, I got very confused. But when people come to South Jersey, they get very confused because there's about 5 places with the same name. There's Haddonfield, which is a place. There's Haddon Township, another place. There's Haddon Heights, another place. And there's Haddonfield Road, which goes through all of them. Right. And they have different zip codes and so on. Yeah, people get they stop me on the street sometimes.
Where am I?
I'm telling you, I knew then, and now I'm getting used to all the waters, and hopefully Piscataway has a distinctive name, and I'm glad to be here.
I have never thought about the waters before, Judy. That's a good one.
I'm a new person. I'm an immigrant to Central Jersey. I'm adjusting and readjusting.
Oh my goodness, I think that's great. People should hear that, the waters around New Jersey, because I was thinking you were going to talk about Raritan River.
Where is that? Is it nearby?
Yeah.
Oh.
Some people who are down on River Road, when the river floods, they get hit.
That's the Raritan.
Yeah.
Oh, they always just said river. Okay, now I know.
It's somebody's river. Okay.
Okay,
But
good.
yeah. Because I've always been told Piscataway was like a valley. So that I
be.
remember years ago when people would tell me it's raining in their area, and I would go, "What are you talking about? It's sun shining here. There's no rain here." Okay, and so I begin to say, well, maybe we are in the valley and everything is taking place above us, but I don't think that anymore. I think that
I don't
we
know. The
are.
weather's very confusing these days.
I think we get hit the same way. So, what are we going to do for New Year's? For the new year, what are some things you want to focus on? I'm going to focus on learning how to work with the PCTV.
Well, if you're looking at me, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm focusing on my health.
Okay.
The end of December, I got sick. I've been coughing, and went to the doctor, and he said I had bronchitis, but I should see a lung specialist.
Oh.
So of course I almost fell off my chair. You know, what's wrong with my lungs? So I don't know if other people feel that way, but anyway, finding my doctor and making an appointment and trying to get records from another doctor sent, you know, who's seen me, and that took a lot of focus in the new year, and it was this past week.
Wow.
And so, yeah, focusing on my health and following up and all that stuff. That was a big thing. But on the happier side, on January 6th, which is very recent, we had a giant family party. And it was a Hanukkah
Okay.
party, which of course there are no Hanukkah parties in January. Except in my family. And we always have a Hanukkah party when it's convenient. And at certain times as the years go by, some of the children in the family are all in college and they have to finish their finals, you know, right before Christmas, and then some of them go away, you know, the young people, and they have time. So this year we had a Hanukkah party on January 6th. Basically all we did was eat and yell, which is sort of our family religion. But we were all together. There were 19 of us, so that was very nice.
Was it at your house?
Yeah, no, my house. I live in a one-bedroom apartment. If I put 19 people in, the police would come. No, I was in my son's house. It was in a house, yes.
Okay.
But I thought that was kind of a nice way to start the new year off, even though nobody would understand having a Hanukkah party in January, but worked for us.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Do you guys exchange gifts also?
Yes, we had a Secret Santa,
Ah.
which is an odd thing to have at a
A
Hanukkah
Hanukkah
party,
party.
but you know, this is America. You kind of make it all work. I think it has another name, but anyway, everybody got, you know, pick a present, and I got some sort of a weird massager, and on the box there was a picture of a man naked to the waist with muscles. I wasn't quite sure what I should do with it, but I thought I would ask my other relatives if they needed one, this massager, and I'm hoping to move it along. But some people were very pleased, and everybody had fun, and there were only two very young children at this point in our family life,
okay.
a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. And anybody who's younger than, say, high school age gets a present. So they got 18 presents, 19
that's
presents.
nice.
Yeah. And they were opening up like crazy, you know, ripping paper. And they got all kinds of cute things. So we had a lot of fun.
Okay.
good.
I guess New Year, I think health is quite important. It's said that he that has health has wealth. So health, well-being, you know, taking care of oneself. I do have a son that is in a group home that is going to be coming home. So he's going to be coming home to the family. So that's part of my priority. The next of my, well, God first in everything I do. I'm sure the rest of you the same way. And also accomplishing some of the goals that I have for my team, for the business that I'm a part of, and, you know, becoming financially independent, you know, so that, you know, one makes choices and makes the right choices, and, you know, really, really spending enough time with my grandchildren. When I was younger, there's a lot of things I couldn't accomplish. Not that I didn't accomplish, I wasn't aware of it. But, you know, when you're married for 28 years, and I'm now a widow, so I'm looking at, you know, I'm also really, really involved in my country, Nigeria, and I have young widows that are maybe some of them are even in their 20s, their 30s, you know, I help out with that and stuff like that. And as we get advanced or more mature. You know, we want to say how would we be remembered and what would I stand for. So those things are things I put in my mind to be a good contributor to the world, not just in America or in Africa, to be a good reflection. Like now I've met the two of you, that's a gift. It's a miracle. An immigrant that came at the age of 16, started college. Now I'm on a television studio. So those things that people take for granted, I don't take it for granted, and I don't take granted for life. Life is an opportunity, for you to keep living. The fact that we woke up today is a miracle, because there's a lot, thousands of people that couldn't wake up. So a spirit of appreciation to contribute to the world, regardless of what's going on. I think that's part of my goal.
Well,
I love that.
I do too. I especially like your slight English accent.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of the things I recognize is that life, as it changes, it doesn't accommodate what we like. Okay, things will just happen, and we have to sometimes fit into that. And so I hear everything you've said, because it is a miracle that we can get through each and every day. I do know people who are not here anymore, or who have some issues.
It's true. I look at old photographs and I see who isn't there anymore.
That's
Ooh,
right.
That hurts.
Oh, it does. It really does. So and that's why sometimes goals are important, because because this way you get to see those people that you may not see again. You actually carve out time to do the things that you want to do. Ladies, I can't believe we are out of time.
Wow.
I have enjoyed this conversation. It's been exciting and interesting, and I've also learned a lot from the both of you. But that's one of the things that you look to do, is learn and hear how the other side thinks and feels. So my question to our viewers: what's the New Year resolution, or what will you do different in 2024? You can write it. You can create a vision board. That's the newest thing I hear today. You can share your thoughts and your ideas with a friend. But whatever you do, keep in mind that women talk. Okay? And I want to say thank you to our guests, to Liz and to Judy. I want to thank our viewers. I want to thank the PCTV crew. Should you have a topic you wish to talk about, or wish to be a guest on the show, send me an email at colesj7@gmail.com, or you can give me a call, 1-848-264-6735. And remember, women talk. We talk about everything. We talk about anything, anywhere, anytime, and with anyone. So I want to say thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.